who were your fantasy busts this year? Who cost your teams, playoffs? And who broke out? Who surprised you
right?
positively and negatively? I'll kick it off with you again, Chris.
Yeah, so, I think some busts for the season were like, I know for me personally, Dalvin Cook was the guy I was on, and I was in 9 leagues this year, actually, and a lot of them I had Dalvin Cook, probably like half of them. So he was hurt most of the year, but now he's getting it done, and I think he's now become, for the teams that made it that had Dalvin Cook, a savior
Killed
for the
yesterday.
playoffs. Yeah, he's been doing extremely well, especially yesterday. He went off for 136 yards or whatever it was and a couple touchdowns. Derrick Henry.
Unbelievable.
Derrick Henry, a guy who, highly touted coming out of college, a guy who, he's been in the league this is his 3rd year, I believe.
I figure that's when you start putting it together.
Right, and he didn't really have the chance because DeMarco Murray was there before for the Titans, and he, would take most of the work. Now Derrick Henry had the opportunity this year to be the lead back. And he didn't really get it done at all this year. He was getting, like 12 carries, like 25 yards.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything with it, no efficiency whatsoever. But all of a sudden, he broke out last week for a game where he had I believe it was 17 carries for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. He just absolutely exploded out of nowhere.
Do you think that's an outlier, or do you think that's the trend now?
See, and now it's the fantasy playoffs, so people need to win. There's no losing anymore. You lose, you're out. So this is very important. Anybody that has Derrick Henry in the playoffs, what do, right? So what they do this week? I hope they started him because this week, again, he had 33 carries this time, but 100.
He went crazy again.
Yeah, went crazy again, like 140 yards or something and 2 touchdowns. So I think he has the talent to make this a trend, but the problem is the whole season he was bad. And I literally mean the entire season. He had maybe 1 good game before these past 2 games. And it's just weird because that's fantasy football for you. Guys sometimes break out when you least expect it, and that's what happened there. He's like a savior right now.
See, I don't ever break out. My team this is my first year playing. I'm 2-10 right now.
Who did you draft that worked out for you and didn't work out for you? 2-10, you probably had a lot of busts, right?
I took Le'Veon Bell, and
he destroyed a lot of people. Yeah,
complete bust. Yeah, you got to call him a bust.
And the worst thing is I didn't pay attention, and I never released him. So he was just eating a roster spot.
So what happens if you don't pay attention?
I had Kirk Cousins. He played well for me. He gave me a lot of points. Mm-hmm. But, the most fun for me is the draft. And then after that, I like watching the games. But I understand why people enjoy fantasy so much because it connects other players for Tuesday through Saturday.
Right.
There's more to the game. It extends the game past the actual game. So I get why people do it. It's just I failed high school math. This and the top level fantasy guys, like a guy like
they're algorithm guys.
They're out of their minds. They know exactly what they're doing. They have their strategies. They have all this stuff. I'm sitting here with a pen and a paper. Is Sterling Sharp still playing?
Sterling Sharp.
Go Bridgeside.